Hey guys, what's going on? It's 256 here, your host for today. It's the Dutch Racing Alliance. I've got the pleasure to commentate the DRA Prospects for today. It's the season kickoff. Welcome everybody to the stream. We're just now loading in, perfectly on time. We're gonna have a 30 minutes practice session, a full qualifying and a 50% race. Really looking forward to it. So we're in already. We've got 13 drivers, but still some more will be joining later, I'm sure. Let me quickly get set up as, well, the session usually has delay anyways. Alright. Let's go in game then. Here we go. And it seems like everything works. I had to set up my Streamlabs again. That's pretty alright then. Seems to work. I think you gotta talk to Danny then if you're on the Discord, if you wanna race. I'm not familiar with everybody. I know a few people. Of course, I know Scarab, he's in the Alfa Romeo Castagna here. In 5th right now. Of course, no time set whatsoever. And Vito is here as well, Chavinsky. In the Racing Point on the outlap now as well. There he is. Right, let me get rid of the spectator menu. And let's have a look. Of course, everybody who knows the track, which I think should be everybody, well familiar with this track in Formula 1 since, I don't know, over 20 years at a minimum. Not too many overtaking maneuvers usually, but that looks a little bit different in the game. Of course, that's speaking real life, not that many overtaking maneuvers here. So just spectating one of the drivers I know from this league. Let's go through as well. We've got House and Dan Becker in the Ferrari. Dan Becker is out there on the outlap, just on the hard tires. I've got Schilder, I think, I hope that's how you say that name. It's a teammate of Viktor Chowinski. In the Williams, we've got Fisser on the outlap right now as well. I've got Passman in the Red Bull, just going off track there. Great moment in time to switch over to that driver. And Lichtenberg, he is here as well in the Renault. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm learning Dutch at the moment, so I can understand some things that are written in chat, and I hope I don't butcher all of these names. I'll do my best as the Renault driver does a Vettel. So feel free to correct me if I fuck up completely. House is now out on his outlap as well. Interestingly, the game placed him in first place without a lap set. Ferrari on P1. When have we seen that for the last time? When have we seen that? It's been a while. So let's hope that he will stay out, as the first drivers are setting some times. Blom, Lemons, Carsign, all setting some laps. Now House is coming through. The final turn, tricky to get right. Let's stay on board for a minute. Let's have a look at the track. Really want to cut over that inside curb there. Don't run too far outside the track, otherwise you're gonna get invalidated. Hard braking zone into turn 3. And they're just saw him going off track. Normally not the place where you go off track like that. Around here, this is also a tricky corner to not extend. Although I'm sure, well, actually I'm not sure if we're running the strict settings or the regular corner cutting settings. There we go. I think that is turn 9. Let me actually get the track map up. Yeah, I had to set up a lot of the old Streamlabs again, as we're running through that really fast left-right hander. So I'm not optimally prepared. Let's get that up. Coming through sector 3, of course. Tricky corner coming up. You want to have good traction here on the exit to set yourself up perfectly for that next turn, as that is not how it's done. Shown by House here. Pisa, meanwhile, is in first place. Wells is out on a lap, just warming up the tires, I guess. Shouldn't be an issue right now. Fairward, he is on a lap, running very far off track there into the wall. Oh, that didn't look too good. That did not look too good for him. And actually, he is out of the session. So this is 24 minutes of waiting then for him. That's not how you want to start a season, is it? Alright, just let me get a good track map. And there we go. So we're on board with Verhoeven. I hope that's right. That is the eternal struggle. I mean, you guys might know me from commentating F2 last year, or last season around. I had some struggles with the names. Oh, it's gonna be better this time. So we've got a mix of tires on track right now. I mean, we've got Fisser on the softs, we've got Blom on the mediums, we've got several drivers on the hard tires, just getting the feel for the track. So everybody just needs to settle in. Also, whilst we're in training, let me quickly get at least one little hotkey up for muting my microphone, because it actually completely deleted all the settings, which is good. Actually, it isn't it? You know how it is. Let me maybe get a hotkey for, what was that, the replay buffer? I hope that's set up. That would be replay, instant replay, save replay. That would be this one. All right. And then we've got the scene replay. I think show, yeah, switch to scene. That was on number 5. And I know it's enticing stuff, this this hotkey setting up, but that's what practice is for, at least for me. For these drivers it's a different story, but at least for me. And we've got the F1 2020 scene. Switch to scene, that should be number 0. And I think that should be it. I hope that works now, as Verhoeven has set the fastest lap whilst we were fiddling around with some settings. P1. Very good. His teammate then still down in P12 on a hot lap probably. Let me actually get the lap data up. There we go. And that was a wrong button. Going through turn 11 and 12 to fast, really fast left-right hander. If you go too far outside, well, you saw what happened with Verwoerd. He just completely spun round into the wall and is actually out of the session, but so is Renault there, down below of Lichtenberg. He is Well, he's in 13th and no. Yeah, he isn't in the session anymore. So something must have happened to him. And there we have, first of all, Passman spinning in the Red Bull, but Casania in third. Looking like a strong pairing so far, the Alfa Romeos. Looking forward to what we're gonna see from those. Going back to the TV cameras as he's actually improving even more. Saw a little lock up there from him coming into turn 9. As Blom has left the session. Disqualified. Okay. That is very much interesting. Let's have a look at the race director then. What happened there? Completely missed it as I had a little sip of my drink. That was going the wrong way. Yep, there it shows, disqualified from the session. Wrong way. Not too good then, and even though Castagna has improved, he's going back to the pits. Having a look at the AlphaTauri driver, Karzine here. He's just coming up to the sector split. I think that is then Becker though in the Ferrari, also off track. You could just see the yellows and you could see him stopped on the track map. Here we go, Karzine is coming through sector 3 now. That is turn 13, coming up to turn 14. Here is the DRS detection point. As you can see on the map just there where the 3 is. Passman retired from the session as well, and that is at the exit of turn 4, coming into turn 5. Normally you're crashing after turn 5, and it's a bummer I can't switch to him as he's out of the session. But that is Karzine improving now to 4th place. It's looking pretty close so far. If we take Verhoeven and Visser out of the equation, then it is looking pretty close. I love it when I can understand the commentary. I can imagine, man. I can imagine. There's not too many people that don't speak Dutch in the Dutch Racing Alliance, so kind of makes sense as well. Anybody else out on a hot lap? Then Becker, oh, gets it wrong again. That is where he got it wrong just a minute ago, just one lap earlier. Again into the wall. This time though, lost a little bit of his front wing, and he can be very, very happy indeed that he is still able to participate in the session, because this is exactly how I think Verwoerd was that went out of the session. This is how fast it can go if your car is a little bit too low. Well, the car setup is a little bit too low. You're riding the bump and your car will be losing downforce just like that. Who do we have out? I think we've got Schilder out in P7, just starting the lap. I just quickly had to fix my chair so you don't hear the squeaking. Schilder now. P7 looking to improve. Well, does he even want to improve? It's just practice. These drivers will just get a little bit of information as he's getting a little bit unsettled there on the exit of turn 5. Very popular spot as well. To crash the car, to lose the rear end, and to just spin into the wall, just like on the exit of 12, that very fast right-hander we're just coming up to. As actually his teammate Jawinski is also starting his lap on the softs this time, Really wants to know where he will be. Little lock up here from Schilder on the inside tire. A little bit too early on the turn-in, but that looked pretty reasonable, to be honest. Last turn, you really want to get the car set up before that. And that is a 23.1, good enough for P4, but can his teammate say anything about it? Well, he is 1.123 seconds up from his personal best. That would be a blistering lap time, but of course he is on the soft tires. The gap between these tires probably just about, well, what would it be? 7/10, half a second, just about there, maybe a little bit more. Don't hit the curb on the last corner at Austria again, please. And here we go, Jowinski coming around the final corner. Looked very planted that car, but ran out of overtake here. That is 3 seconds up. First place, 21.4. I'm sure we're gonna see even faster times, so we should be able to see even faster times when qualifying is coming. I mean, maybe these drivers are a little bit sandbagging. I mean, it's just practice, but to be honest, what are the other drivers gonna do about it? If they can't improve, then they're not gonna do it in 15 minutes time, as we're on board with Lemons here. Just now coming up to turn 13. All of these more or less right-angled turns. And here, very easy to lose your rear end and to brake a little bit too late, as Lemons just showed there. Don't run out too wide, that looked very reasonable indeed, but it's not gonna be such a blistering time. I mean, he improved by about 6/10, but he is still in P7. Four drivers have already taken a break. More or less involuntarily. Passman out in turn 2 on the exit there. I think that was. No, actually he was out on right here. The exit of turn 4 probably went a little bit too hot over the curbs. Who else do we have out there now? We've got House out there on the medium tires. Completely fresh tires as well. A little bit wide around that last corner. He is in last place right now, but he is looking to improve by over a second. Oh, nope, that's not over a second. How does that work out? Oh, that was very close then. He was very close to a 125 before, now he's in the 125.5s, improving about 4/10, 4.5. It's not looking optimal for him. Also, we've got Fisser coming around with a little bit of lag. Just this turn 15 to go. Is he gonna come back into the pits? It doesn't look like it. He is continuing on. He's on the hard tires, so certainly practicing for the race. And that piece of front wing certainly threw him off. Went into the wall, or did he? Didn't quite see if that was lag or not. But definitely not the most optimal exit of that last corner for him. Schilder right here, struggling on the exit of 9. It is pretty hard to get the traction down there as well. You want to be on the throttle as much as possible, as he kind of shakes his wheel in preparation either for the next lap or just to go back into the pits. We will see in a minute. But you really want to get the traction down out of 9. But at the same time you need to turn in, which kind of reduces the grip you have to deploy there basically. And I think we're gonna see a straight up battle in a minute. Visser is still out there, but so did Verhoeven. He went out of the pits on some fresh, soft tires. Wants to try and go for a quali simulation, I'm sure. That would be his first so far. Chowinski is out on some new softs as well. Trying to beat his time he previously set on softs. And then Becker out on some new mediums. And House is still out there in 9th on the mediums. Trying to improve away from that spot or just getting settled into the race. As we are on board now with Verhoeven. Looking to get a good lap together. It's a straight up battle, I've got the feeling, between the Force India driver and the Alpha driver right here. It's about 8 tenths separating the drivers. That is a purple sector 1, 6 tenths faster. So almost already at the pace that Chowinski shot over the whole lap. Round 9, very tidy, but I've seen that one fast as well. He is using overtake. That is the second up. If he brings that home, he'll beat Chowinski's time here. Maybe already that what we will see in qualifying later. Maybe we're gonna see some surprises. I know Visser isn't a slow driver, and looking at his time on the hard tires, I mean, I'm sure that he will have something to say about the pole then later. But that is Verhoeven then coming across the line 1.2 seconds faster than before. That is a 121 flat bar 3000s. Chowinski hoping to not run into any traffic now on the exit of turn 14. There's some cars going slow. That is car sign. Yes, it is getting out of the way pretty nicely indeed. Gets a better run through turn 16, the last corner of this track. And across the line, beating the 21s, beating Verhoeven. And that is P1. That is P1. Car sign is now pushing. It's also on the soft tires now, wanting to have a shot at a qualifying simulation. It's about half a second faster than before. Up to turn 9, this really tricky traction zone, as said before. Sausage curb on the exit or on the apex doesn't help, and that little curb on the exit, that can be quite slippery at the time. By the way, if anybody is watching the stream and can give me a little insight into the weather report, that would be absolutely amazing. Let me maybe quickly get my contacts up here. Ask. And here we are, that is Karzine into P3. Also Castagna now on a fast lap, 1.4 seconds faster than before. That is absolutely blistering to say the least. But I don't think it looks like he will beat any of the top runners. Certainly not the top 3. He might have, or certainly not the top 2. Not with that error there though. Maybe he will come through in P3 if he's lucky, but I think even that would be optimistic. And that is gonna be a 21.9. So just about in P4, 3 tenths behind, but he had some pretty big errors in that lap. I'm sure he will get them out come qualifying, or maybe he's got time for another attempt. He should be having another shot here, as Schilder is now coming through Sector 2 at the start of Sector 2 right here, coming up to both of the Williams, who might even practice some slipstream here, as Schilder's locking up on the inside whilst turning in. As Lemons gets out of the way very nicely indeed. Car looking planted even over the apex of turn 12, which can be very, very scary to drive over. Pace is looking very good indeed. That is gonna be a 20.7. That is new pole. Well, new pole, that is new first place in practice. It would be pole if this was qualifying. It is not, obviously. We're gonna run full qualifying. It's gonna be a blast, surely. I hope that we're gonna see some more drivers join until then, as he's kind of parking his car awkwardly there in the middle of the road. I don't know what that is for, as House is now finally out on some soft tires here. By the way, let me quickly get a link up into our Discords. That would probably be a good idea. We get some more action in here. There we go. Okay. Maybe that will get us some new viewers up here, as House is on his lap. So let's concentrate on that, as then Becker has retired from the session in the pits, probably run out of tire. And here he goes. Through the last parts of Sector 3. Turn 15 here. Trying to get a nice exit, but he is not looking confident at all. We have seen that with the Ferraris in real life. That is not looking like a competitive lap time on these softs. Not even gonna improve up from the last place there. Absolutely not looking good, as Carstein has now started. Another qualifying attempt. 2 racing points, as stated before. As well as the 2 Alfa Romeos looking very good indeed. Alright, I've done my job to get some new viewers in, definitely. Hoping to see some new faces in here. Be absolutely amazing. And here we go, as Carstein is coming around turn 13 now. Little bit dancing on the rear. Of course, these drivers have the opportunity to set their car up during this practice session if they haven't got the chance before. And here we go. That is a very close time to Schilder's time. That are 5 thousandths difference, and then it's another 1.5 to 1.7 tenths down to Czerwinski. And then it's another half a tenth down to Verhoeven. That is looking very competitive. Castagna falling a little bit back compared to his teammate, but he had a pretty hefty mistake on his lap anyways. Jawinski is now underway with a purple sector 2, 2.8 tenths up, and that is very much pushing it indeed into the wall, losing a little bit of his front wing, and that is, you might as well just retire then in the pits. And that is exactly what happens when you run wide on turn 12. That is not the best thing to do. Also, Castagna is on another lap. I would be spectating other drivers, of course, that are not known to me as well. But we've got some qualifying laps, coincidentally, from the drivers that I know already from other leagues. As one driver after another is retiring from the session. Castagna is now coming up to both Williams, who have retired on track actually. They're getting a little bit unhappy on the exit of 9 through 10 and now 11 and 12 here. Also, I'm gonna have a look if the replays are gonna work in just a minute. And that is, oh yeah, that is out of the session there as well for Castagna. Let's have a look at that again if that works. Drum roll. It doesn't. Yay! Okay, well, it was worth a try. Maybe whilst we're setting up the qualifying, which should go by itself, by the way. We can, once we're loading into qualifying, I can have another look at the replay settings. That would probably be a good idea. But that is practice then over. Schilder is in P1, Karzine in P2, Jawinski in P3, then we've got Verhoeven, we've got Castagna, Visser, Lemons, Den Becker, Haus, Passmann, Fairwood, Lichtenberg and Blom in P13, getting disqualified actually. Hey, Stolke, what's going on? Boy! Who is Boy? Chris. Which Chris? This is DRA's Discord. I'm actually not organizing. You would have to message House then. He's the Ferrari driver. He is on the DRA Discord. Maybe it's somewhere in the channel. I'm actually new to this channel. I usually don't stream on YouTube, so I hope the quality is alright. But this is like the result of practice, and you can see it's very, very close here, down to Verhoeven. But as well, Castagna had a pretty nice run until he bit the car. But so did Jawinski as he went out of the session. But that is looking like very, very strong racing points, very strong Alfa Romeos, but a very strong Alfa Tauri as well. But remember, Visser has only set a lap on mediums. He's about 1.5 seconds off the pace, 1.3 tenths. There might be something more in him. Not looking good it is for both the Ferraris, to be honest. Verhoeven is a clown. Wow. And here we are in what should be full qualifying. Maybe. Also, P5 is missing, P1 is missing. And there's Q1. Alrighty. Whilst we're waiting for some drivers to go out, let me quickly check the replay settings, because that is very, very strange. The replay buffer is enabled, so that is good. So I only need some replay. Save replay. I've got numpad add. And let me get into editor mode so I can do some changes. That is replay. That is instant replay. It's not showing anything, which is very odd. Very, very odd. I mean, it is Well, it is not the save replay button that is causing the problem. Is there even an instant replay feature? Yes, there is. Wait, how's that? Okay. What about this? Yep. That is correct. But the instant replay isn't. That is just a media source. Okay. Let me try something. Instant replay. Add. Instant replay. I don't need to loop, but I mean, if that works, I'm gonna be happy. I don't want to have to replay sound though. Alrighty. Yeah, well, it doesn't want to work. Yeah, I'll try something once the drivers aren't out anymore. Let me get, yeah, we've got the track map, we've got that stuff, and that is looking very good indeed. Good. Who's out on track? Who's gonna be the first to go? That will be Lemons then, who we're gonna spectate. Let's go on board with him. Running slightly outside there. 130, take it or leave it. And here we go. It's actually not the first, is it? Yeah, he is. No, Bearwood is the first. No, he is not. I was right, it's Lemons. With the purple sector, what a surprise. I think that is some setting up of slipstream between Fissa and Lemons. But Lemons is running very, very wide indeed. Still continuing on to push though. As I had to quickly get out of replay mode here. Through the fast left right hander. I think Fairwood is on a flyer as well. Final turn it is. I'm not expecting this to be an absolute brilliantly fast time with that mistake he had. And there he goes. Gets immediately beaten by Fairwood. Passman is the next to come over the line as well. Fisser will be starting his lap. So will Lichtenberg. Yep. Very good. But the Ferraris are coming through. I think that is House. Is it? Yep. House is coming through. That's a 22.9. Actually, way better than before. In practice, Verhoeven, I just missed him. Sets it on pole. A 20.5. Stepping up the game immensely. Actually, both the Force Indias are out there. Schilder in P8. Around the final turn. Looking very, very interesting there at the car. Very pointy, not a fast lap at all. And I think Chowinski had a little mistake there. Oh, it's a south lap actually. So, who even cares about that then? As we will have, well, a little bit of oversteer here from Chowinski. Let's quickly have a look through until turn 5. Then I'm gonna have a look at Fisser, who is yet to set a lap. He will be coming across the start finish line in a minute and keeps it on track very nicely. Chowinski does. And there we go, that is P3 for Fisser. We've got the Renault coming over the line. There we go, that is P8 only. And Carson is now starting his lap. Well, it's on a lap. I think Chowinski will be finishing it up very soon. And he does the same mistake again! He does the same mistake again, like in practice. But he's actually not out of the session. But oh, this is, get out of the way! That car was parked in a very awkward spot there. Dan Becker. It's now through turn... What is that actually? Turn 14, obviously. Around the second to last corner. Into the DRS zone. And across the line, it's a 22.5 just in front of his teammate. Very good indeed. And of course, Force India had a little error in the lap, but Karzine will be coming across the line as well in just a second. His first lap, he was in P2 in practice. It's just about to say P2 in qualifying, but he is P1 in qualifying, and the margin isn't very big indeed. Lemons is on another outlap. Castagna as well, whilst Blom is still in the pits, not having set a time yet. I think he should be out there now. Yep, there he is. So we're gonna see some new laps in a minute. There's a yellow in sector 2 for the yellow car. And this is Castagna then starting his lap in just a minute. Just preparing for the lap. Coming through that last sector, taking a little bit of grass is definitely not what you want to do there, although that won't hinder you too much on that right-hander. And yes, it is a full quali. Yes, you don't have a need to drive. Exactly, you're all gonna be going to Q2, but it's good practice. It's good practice. You can just take it easy. The worst part is in full quali, if you crash your car in Q1, even if you're advancing, the game doesn't let you drive, as it deems your car as, well, damaged, terminally damaged. So these drivers need to be extra careful until Q3, or at least Q2, if they've got the feeling that they won't advance to the next round. Castagna now coming through. Not taking too much off that outside curb on turn 12. She saw so many drivers spinning there, but really attacking the circuit there, really attacking the inside curb there. Turn 13 also here in turn 14, where you really don't want to touch that curb. Little lockup on the inside. And now on to the start finish. Oh, you just crashed, but you haven't crashed out of the session, which is at least something. Your car's still able to drive, I hope. That's at least what the overlay says. As Castagna is a little bit of his teammate here. He can get a faster lap going, certainly, but he doesn't have to. Who is on a fast lap? Blom is definitely on a fast lap, just finishing that one off. 29.049. Take it or leave it. 130. 129, take it or leave it. Just chilling in the pits, yeah. There really is no need to go out again. Unless you wanna... Well, you can't even try anything with the setup, as I think it's fixed. Spark Ferme, it is on. There was enough time in practice to get the setup right. That is Blom just getting very unhappy there. you mean shake my head? And that was also very close to running out wide for Blom here. Of course not on a fast lap. I think he is still in ERS deploy. And it looks like a push lap. And he will continue on. It's not like he needs it. 15 drivers advance and we've got 13 in. Say 23. Didn't want to have the shame on him of being last in a session. So just sticks his car onto P10. And Lemons came out of pits for a third time. P9 right now. Maybe we'll enjoy some outside views. Purple sector 2. We're gonna see what he's capable of doing in the Williams. By the way, if you haven't caught the news today, Williams has been sold to an American, well, not really investor, just some American company. I don't even know what they specialize in. Maybe they just know how to strategize and get a company back together as the Lemons improves by about 4/10, which is quite a margin. Why aren't they saving the tires? You got enough compounds normally. Most of them have done some more laps on their tires, but you normally have enough compounds. Like in Q2 you've got the time for 3 attempts, and in Q3 you're gonna get an additional tire anyways, and then you could reuse one of the Q2 tires, preferably that tire where you didn't qualify on for Q3, just to set a banker lap. Yeah, and most are getting out on the tire they were out before anyways. As you can see with Fisser, he's got 1 lap on these tires already. They won't need them. They're not gonna have enough time to switch over to all of these tires and try and go for a lap. Passman has put on some new tires. I mean, I hope they're all aware that we're going to do full quali here. That's the visual on PC. Welcome to the chat as well. Just sending in the memote, the meme emote, at least of HVR. Another league. The very fast wheelchair man. As Fisser just starts his lap. Not too much action out on track. We usually see that in full qualifying. Most of the drivers just thinking to themselves, well, why should I risk my car? Why should I take some more tires? Why should I even waste the time? I'm confident enough, I don't want to go out. But Fisser shows some pace. 4/10 up already. Also, by the way, if you guys haven't subbed already to the YouTube channel, please do so. Be a great help, surely. Yeah, nobody will be eliminated. I mean, you won't be eliminated anyways, you're in P1. But in Q2 it's gonna go. It's gonna be for P10. Oh, Martin, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? And there is Fisser. Just going about half a second, just over half a second faster than on the attempt before. On some worn tires already. Passman is out there now. Gonna set a time 3/10 faster. Good enough for P11, but these are new tires, remember? And then I think we're gonna have Fairwood next. I'm very fine. It's a pleasure to be commentating on the Dutch Racing Alliance Prospects League for the season kickoff. So seeing some really promising times here as well. You know, 120.5, that is not bad at all. As Fairwood is coming through sector 1 here, nicely using the outside curb there as a little plate where you can put your pressure against, where you can put your car against, helping a little bit with the traction. Just don't put it over there. As Fisser is continuing on, setting P1. That is 600s faster than Carson there. Yeah, so corner cutting is not on strict, it's on regular, guys, right? And that is Fairwood now. Just about 1/10 faster than before. House is on a lap as well, just coming through the final sector here. That is looking much more promising than before, out qualifying his teammate then, Becker there, yep. About 3/10, a little bit less, 2.5. But a much better job than what he did in practice before. Lemons is out there, Fisser is going for another lap, not gonna improve though. Taking the checkered flag. Fairwood is not on a very fast lap. House is still on there, but I think, well, he is 6/10 up, apparently, which would be a very good time for him. Lemons is going back to the pits. Passman, will he stay out? It does look like it, so nope, he is going into the pits. And Fairwood. It's now coming through the final corner then. Trying to get the traction down. Car's down a little bit slow there, and yeah, that's not gonna improve there. That's a 32 for now. And then House is 8 seconds down on his time, so that is very much over for him. But, well, actually, it's not over for anybody, as this Q1 just kind of was a practice session for everybody. As we hear a very high revving car there of House. Ferrari engine maybe exceeding the RPM limits now. Now that they've kind of nerfed the engine in some other way. Yeah, well, if you cut the chicane, then you're probably gonna get effing oofed anyways. So that's not the best idea. Most of the corners here on this track you can't really cut. You can cut a little bit on the exit of 9. You can cut a lot on the exit of the first 2 corners. Also turn 6, which is just that first corner on the of the second sector. Also turn 14 before that little hairpinny kind of corner. I mean, no other corner is gonna get more hairpinny than that one. On this track, the third to last corner on the exit there. SQ1 has finished up now. That is Fisser in P1, Fairwood in P2, we've got Kazan in P3, Verhoeven in P4, Jowinski in P5, and Castagna in P6. We've got House in P7, we've got then Becker, we've got Lemons in P9, then Passmann, Blom, Schilder, and Lichtenberg. Yeah, first corner. 11 and 12. Yeah, but that will unsettle your car. You gotta take that into consideration in your setup. Otherwise, it's just gonna spin you around there. All right. Loading into Q2. Now it counts for the drivers. Now it will count. P11, P12 and P13 will be eliminated after the next 15 minutes. We'll know who will going to survive here. As we're just waiting for everybody to get out, maybe that gives me the opportunity to have another look here quickly at the replay buffer thingy. I mean, to be honest, it should work. I'm really bummed it doesn't. Do I have a replay from today? What is today? Today is the 21st, right, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah. It got a replay going. It saved it. But it's just not playing it. Let me quickly have another little look. Nope, not working yet. Unfortunately, as we're riding on board with some Ferrari. Save a replay. Switch to scene. Yes. Nope, it won't work. That is a bummer and a half. So let's concentrate then on whatever we're doing here, which is preferably racing. Kazan will be the first to go on a fast lap. They've now fitted the soft tires. It would be quite a good idea to get the fitted tires up if some drivers are gonna go for a different strategy. Kazan is now coming around the first sector here. Missing a little bit of the apex there. There's absolutely some room for improvement. A little bit off track there, but that is, you know, that is like the usual amount you see in real life, and that has a little bit compromised his lap as he's slowing down now. Kazan, that won't be his lap. He has to try again, and we see some drivers going out on the mediums. Then Becker, namely House, Schilder, Castagna and Fisser. They're all out on the mediums. And that is how you do turn 11 and turn 12, which is more or less legal there. And I think we've got, yep, Verhoeven. What happened to him? He is out there off turn 1. If I can find the right Williams, we might catch a glimpse there. Yep, he overcooked it here, and wow, Fisser does the same. As Karstein is now with a 124.9, beaten by his teammate Blom, obviously. In P1 right now, there's And then Becker coming through on the mediums. Alright pace there. It is P2 at the moment, but of course that is only because Carsign had some little mistakes in his lap, and I'm sure Lemons can beat that time. Oh, it looks close. Yep, it's not even that close. That is P2 for him. Passman in P4 crossing the line. Next it's gonna be Lichtenberg. He is in P7. 136. Talking of mistakes, Danny House is coming through 23.3. 23.393. Too many threes in there. Fairwood in P1 as expected. Schilder has returned to the pits, I think, or is that? Yep, that is Schilder. He returned to the pits. Chewinski is out on a lap already. Well, he was out on a lap, a 23.8. Next to come over the line will be Fisser, but he had a little moment in turn 1. Afterwards, it's probably gonna be Carsign. Yep, he will set another lap on these softs. 120.3. That is very fast, but Verwood is faster than that with a 120.2. Remember, these are the prospects, yeah? And the only one yet to set a lap is Castagna. And that is a huge lockup into turn 3. And a little bit losing the rear there as well. How's your race tomorrow? Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting then. I don't think that will be the time that gets Castagna out of the session. I mean, yeah, Fisser and Lichtenberg are pretty slow in the 130s, but Fisser now has improved. Of course, it's gonna make it easier that Verhoeven is already out, but it is a pretty respectable P6, even with that huge lockup, just showing how much more pace Castagna has in his car. That is surprising, looking at how this lap went. Passman is still out there, probably on an in-lap. Oh no, he is pushing. He's got his car on overtake, but overcooked it into turn 15 here. Decides to go back into the pits. Castagna and Visser will be on an in-lap surely, and Schilder will be the next one to go out and set a lap. He's definitely got a good run, down start finish. Very nice turn in there, a little bit of oversteer he had to correct there. Shouldn't have lost him too much time anyways. But that will cost him a little bit of time, that lockup. We saw Castagna do it, we are now seeing Schilder do it, and that is looking very unfortunate there. Just spinning the car, quick reset there on track. But yeah, that didn't look very good. And definitely not what he wanted to do on his fast lap. We didn't have the opportunity to spectate this Renault driver too much. As the drivers are just out on an out lap. Schilder might tried a second time on these tasks, but yeah, these tasks they will be way out of their comfort zone. Oh, I think Jowinski is out on a lap actually, just as we were hoping somebody causes some action. He's on the mediums now. I think he set his first lap on some softs. Had some issues though. Looking to improve. In sector 3 we've got a yellow, but that's just because of course I'm going a little bit slow. What is that emote? Is that an ape with a hammer? Oh, with a hammer. I haven't seen that emote ever. Yeah. Yeah. So Smacker saying Karzine will win Jowinski here. P4 on the mediums. Looking pretty competitive. And going over to Lichtenberg. P11 right now. Looking to improve. And oh, that is a strange line. Haven't seen that in a while. Going to the inside even before the corner started. Oh yeah, he is struggling absolutely. And Martin saying Verhoeven will win. I mean, he is down in 13th. It's not looking too well for him, but he did show some pace. It was pretty close to a Fairward though. We're gonna see about that. Lichtenberg now with a 25.5. Lemons for the win. And here we go. Is Jowinski gonna put another lap in there? No, he is not. That is a 21.4. He should be safe, to be honest. I'm expecting the cutoff to be somewhere at the 22s, if not the 22.5s. I think then Becker, House, and Passman all can improve. Schilder is definitely in there still as well. He's on the outlap right now, trying it for the medium zone. Then let's change to Jowinski's teammate here, Schilder, who we've just been talking about. No rooters for you? Well, I'm rooting for everybody. I'm rooting for everybody, guys. Alright, there is Schilder then. Starting his lap. He's a little bit under pressure now. He won't have the time to go out again. Looking like a pretty nice lap by him. It's 48.8, just racing the outside wall there. Took 11 and 12 beautifully as well, without cutting. Vito saying his lap was okay. Well, I mean, if it gets you through qualifying 2 on the mediums as well, that is more than enough. The real competition for most of the drivers, 10 exactly, will only be starting in Q3 for the starting place then. As Schilder with a pretty nice lap there. Your teammate, Vito. A 10th he's got on you on the same task. Impressive, impressive stuff. Visser is out as well. There was an Alfa Romeo behind him, which must be Castagna. he will be trying it on the softs. Well, he has to, as his first lap on the mediums wasn't impressive at all. And he probably doesn't want to put any extra wear on the mediums if he can help it. Of course, the race is going to be long if you want to go for the one-stopper and want to keep both options open. I think it's going to be a medium hards for most of the guys. If they start either outside the top 10 or if they qualify on the mediums, which Visser surely does as well. Chawinski falling down now a little bit. Falling down the order. Karstein is now out on the track as well on some softs, and apparently Chawinski is confident enough that he will be keeping in, so he will retire his car and wait for the end. As long as I go through, I'm fine. Well, you're confident then. And Karstein will come through then in just a second. Fairwood is of course on a lap now as well. Just going through sector 1. We've got a Williams parked in sector 1 there as Karstein goes. Very much faster. Beats Fairwood by a tenth. Not that it matters at all. Got Lichtenberg now out in P12 there, setting his lap. I think we don't really need to spectate Fairwood as he will be going through, but this guy's under pressure now. Just nipping a little bit off that slipstream there. That is very far outside, and that's probably not gonna be an improvement. And I think then we just have to spectate Fairwood here on his lap, but that won't be an improvement either. Nobody else out on a lap anyways. I mean, Karstein could go for another lap, but he much rather saves his tires. Serena driver is still struggling around the track. Not the optimal line. He is in a very fast grid though. And a little bit of oversteer there as well. Coming across the line, not gonna be an improvement. Half a second slower than before. Gutting for him out of qualifying. So is Passman though. And of course Verhoeven, who showed absolutely amazing pace in practice and Q1, I think. Oh well, he had a little mistake in turn 1 and 2, and therefore is out of the session. And that is Q2 done. I mean, if the guys in the pits could retire the car, that would be absolutely amazing, because then we would move on and wouldn't have to wait for the time remaining counter to tick down ever so slowly. If you guys are watching, that would be a pretty good help. Maybe you want the extra time to mentally prepare, although Passman doesn't have too much to prepare for the next session. At least he's got a cool quarter of an hour time to mentally prepare for the race, including loading times and all of that stuff, formation lap, whatever. And in just a few seconds we will go. Now this will probably be a pretty nice competition here between Fairwood up on top, as well as Karstein, who actually is on top this session. Vito, aka Chawinski, was very fast as well. Schild and Visser will be in there as well, I'm very sure of it, just setting lap times a second slower on the mediums, of course. And for the Ferraris, at least they made it through Q2, both of them. You couldn't expect that this year too much from the Ferraris. A quick look at the race director if there's been anything that's not quite perfect. We've got some speeding in the pit lanes, but that is just the usual stuff. And we're loading in to Q3. We were very fortunate with the loading times today, and I'm probably saying that have jinxed it right now. Nope, we're in. Looking good. And I need to set up my interface again. Why do you do this to me, game? Why do you do this to me? Now it's the question, are we gonna see some 19s even? Circa is saying, well, 120 is expected, but maybe we can even see these drivers beat it. They are pretty close, just about 3/10 to go, or 2/10 I think it was for Carstein actually. So that would be pretty nice if we saw something like that. As we're waiting for the drivers to come out, I think that is, yes, a Williams indeed coming out already. Is that Fizz or Lemons? That must be Lemons then. There we go. Both of the Force Indias as well, aka the Racing Points, aka the pink Mercedes. Haven't said that yet. Out on track as well. Jovinski and his teammate Schilder in front. And now there's some more movement coming in from the other drivers as well. Slowly coming out of the pits. Circuit is pretty empty in Q3 with just 10 drivers. Although we only had 13 before, but it's another difference. By the way, I think let me quickly adjust a little bit of the volume, I think, of the game. I think that is a little bit better. I think it was a little bit loud before. Might have been. So that should be better. W10 equals RP20. Pretty much, yes. And very interestingly, now there are some rumors going around that they actually received a little wind model, well, aerodynamics, like wind tunnel model. That's what I'm searching for, a wind tunnel model from Mercedes from last year's car. So if they did that, that would be very interesting indeed, what they're gonna do with the team. Just gonna say, remember 2008 when McLaren was disqualified from the whole championship for something not too much different, maybe even a little bit more minor. But we're gonna see what the FIA and the other guys are saying. As Lemon sets a flat 27 in the first sector, now lacking the other Force India. That is 6/10 faster already for Jovinski. So we're gonna have a little comparison here. Lemons now with a 49.3. Schilder just about as quick. And that is Jovinski, a 48.1. So certainly looking on the pace there. Oh, they received 3D drawings for the rear end on January the 3rd from Merck. Why did you read that one? I haven't seen that one, but that would be absolute scenes. That would be, as Lemons quickly sniffs the pole position, and that is a 20, a flat 20 by Schilder. Jovinski now coming through pretty close behind his teammate, a 20.27. Now I'm just really eager to see what Fizzer can do. Afterwards, it's either gonna be Castagna. Yep, it is Castagna. That is pole position for Fizzer by a very close margin indeed. House is gonna be the next one. That is P6 only. Fairwood, favorites for pole. Is it gonna be the 119. It is what we are searching for. The 119.888. And car sign, surprisingly enough, only in P5. Oh yes, look, that are the brake ducts, but there are now more rumors going around with the whole wind tunnel model of all of the car. They might have gotten that one. In my opinion, with the brake ducts, come on FIA, what is that even? If you just copy brake ducts, then allow them for like 5 races and then ban the team from using them. Does anybody remember 2018 when Ferrari was having their little mirrors mounted to the halo in Monaco? They had to remove them 2 races later. Why don't they do the same with Force India? But well, who knows? Thank you very much, guys, for saying that you enjoy the commentary. By the way, I'm gonna plug my Twitch quickly. If you enjoy the commentary, head over to my Twitch. It's twitch.tv/256. I'm commentating many more races. Many more races of other leagues. So if you enjoy the commentary, leave a follow, get notified when I go live there. That would be very much appreciated. As, yeah, most of the cars are going into the pits. Dan Becker should be on a fast lap now, and he is. He just started it. Blom is still in the pits. Not yet moved out. Maybe due to a lack of tires. No, they are not using the wind tunnel of Mercedes. They actually got a 60% model. Like, that is the rumor. They got a 60% model of the Mercedes car from last year to use in the wind tunnel. So that would be something even more severe than what McLaren and I think was it Ferrari have done in 2008. And here we go. Dan Becker, what is he gonna do for comparison? The other drivers did a sector 2 in the 48 stat is a 49.1. And Tommy driving the original league. Alrighty. It's very good to know. That is on Sunday, I guess. Yeah, they used the Merc Tunnel 2 to develop. So maybe Mercedes has just forgotten one of their models of their cars in that wind tunnel. Whoopsie. Somebody just forgot to take it out. Who knows? Enough of that. Enough of that. It's a 122.1 for Dan Becker, out qualifying his teammate by about 1/10. Blom is now on an outlap. He wants to go for some fresh air, not being distracted by other drivers, not having to look at the gaps. I imagine the other drivers going out pretty close to each other at the end of the session in about 3 minutes. You want to know how Fairwood stepped up for 10th in a session? Sandbagging, probably. You don't have to give it your all in Q2, but to be honest, why would you hold back? I mean, to save tires, yes, but if you want to sandbag and think that the other drivers are gonna catch up with you magically, because they see that you're quick, I don't think that's gonna happen. But Carstein is of course one of the guys that will challenge Fairwood for the pole position here in just a minute when they come out, as Blom is now starting his lap. The last driver in the top 10 to go out there. You've got other ideas. Alright. Who knows about them? Here we go. Blom now going through sector 1. Don't go too far on turn 4 here. Very close to the apex there, a very tight radius on 5. Not running out too wide, unsettle the car just a little bit in turn 7 there, that little... it's a tricky corner. It's by far not the trickiest. This is one of them. You gotta get the traction down and turn into the corner. That is one hard feat on this track. As well as, of course, turn 15, which is pretty tricky as you have to set up your car for turn 16, the last corner, then to go through there close enough to full throttle. But is looking like a pretty nice lap, pretty steady lap for Blom. Not the fastest I've ever seen. And there we go. It's P5, good enough to beat his teammate. Visser is right now the leading car on a lap. Just through the tricky turn 9 and 10. Yeah, that little curb there on the apex that can set up your car pretty badly, or yeah, in general just unsettle the car. Just like you saw there of Visser. That is not how you want to run there, as Karstein is now finally starting his lap. Got a yellow sector, that's just people waiting, I would guess. Now the last drivers have come out of the pits. We actually might not even have a delay today. Karstein up 2/10 now. I haven't said that before. Yep, and that is exactly the reason why you don't cut 11 and 12. That is very wide through turn 11. And that is turn 12 just almost cut to perfection. Just like you see it in real life. Maybe a little bit more than what would be tolerated in real life. But we don't want to be as harsh on these drivers. Very loose on the rear there for Karstein out of turn 15. And through start finish, it's only 1.6 tenths up. He set a faster lap in Q2 and he needs to bin it now for the next lap. Who do we have otherwise on track right now on a fast lap? I think Schilder has just started. His teammate Chowinski is a little bit further in front. Visser is coming across the line just a little bit slower, and that is actually Chowinski. Very much spun around. He won't be able to improve as Lemons will be coming through. Yep, he didn't get the apex at the fast left-hander, but he will try it again apparently if he's got the fuel. And you better hope that he has the fuel, and Lemons not being happy with that lap, probably not seeing that he can improve or that he could improve. That's P8 for him at least. Then Becker, P9 right now. That is slower than before though. And the next one to come across the line will be Castagna. And here we go. It's a 20.5. House is the next. It's only P7 for Castagna. House stepping it up. P8 here. Next is gonna be, is it gonna be Karstein again? Yes, it is Karstein. Not able to improve. And Schilder going across the line in P1. But here is now Fairwood spinning it, getting the last chance at the pole, or not getting the last chance at the pole then. And that is absolutely surprising. One we haven't seen on first place for the last 1.5 hours basically. Schilder set it on pole position. And here we go. That is how the drivers are gonna line up, and a very close qualifying it was until P6, P7 maybe. Schilder, Fairwood, Visser, Chowinski, Blom, Karstein, Castagna, House, Lemons, and then Becker. And here we've got the drivers again, and the incidents over here. We saw some exceeding track limits by Karstein twice on lap 3, so he gave it his all, and even on normal corner cutting rules, that was counted as a cut. F1MC, hey, what's going on? How you doing, guys? I guess it's you, Fraser, behind that account, hiding. Here we go. Oh, that is looking very overcast indeed. Very, very overcast. By the way, good luck to all the drivers if you're having a quick last look in the chat, in the stream. I hope that you will all be doing well in the race. Looking forward to it. As we're waiting for the drivers to load in. Schiller being the first to get the strategy set up, whilst everybody else is just a little bit waiting. Taking some more time. Pretty sure we will see a formation lap, hopefully, if it's been set up. And here we go. It's lap 0. By the way, if you're watching and you're not yet subscribed to this account, go and subscribe. If you enjoy the commentary, go over to twitch.tv/256. That's where I usually commentate on all kinds of different Formula 1 races. Would be very much appreciated if you left a follow over there as well. And that is all the social media jibber jabber out of the way. We're gonna keep that like this. And that was the wrong button. And we've got a migrating host. Oh no! I think it's now time to keep an eye on the Discord. Restart. Someone started too early. So that is how's the admin for this league saying that we will be restarting. Wouldn't it be nice if you could say restart and the drivers would go into the pits and wait for a minute or reline up on the grid whilst they're doing something? Wow, F1MC. Only concerned about the subs, you know. Only concerned about the subs. Alrighty then. We're gonna wait for an invite. Meanwhile, we're still gonna spectate these guys, of course. Why not? The driver's already making a little bit of contact, but of course this doesn't count. As we just heard, we're gonna restart. So I'm pretty sure House is now setting up the new lobby. And there we have the new invite. Let's, first of all, turn it off, go back to the track intro, get some nice music playing. And here we go. Just while we're waiting. Some nice tunes. Going back to the new lobby. Hey, even the chat is working. Look at that. I didn't expect that one. I had to reset up the stream basically. I hope it's all working. And that will be very much interesting now to reset up all of the lobbies. Right. Yeah, Robert, you didn't look too well, man. Just saying, effed up his whole lap. Now everybody's coming in here. to watch. Some track intro here. Status enticing racing, of course. Yeah, I gotta re-invite. That's probably a pretty good idea to invite some guys. In case they disconnect. There we go. The right, left one. Yep. We started cutting it as well. In the race director, which is a task. Which is certainly a task on regular corner cutting stringency. Who is the favorite to win? Yeah, Verhoeven would be a good guess as well. Karzheim as well though. And you gotta be fair to Visser and Schilder. Schilder snagged away pole position in the last minute, whilst Fairwood kind of lost the rear. By the way, guys, remember me to click on spectate now. Otherwise, I'm gonna be on the grid. Wouldn't that be an idea? Wouldn't that be an idea? MZ, welcome to chat. Yeah, I think sure they're starting on meds. Yep, that's a good observation. I think even I think Fairwood was on the soft tires. I think the top 3 were on the softs in Q2. Of course, that is different. And the session will be starting in about 16 seconds. You can do a soft medium. Yeah, might be a benefit to be on the mediums first though, depending on if a safety car is coming out. If a safety car is coming out, of course you will much rather be on the softs if it's gonna be in the first few laps. It's all depending on on the timing of that safety car then. Of course, with this track, we saw many crashes already in practice, in qualifying, on the exit of 2. Of course, even on the exit of 5, on the exit of 4, so as on the exit of 12, obviously the usual fast left right-hander, where lots of guys crash out regularly. If that gets a safety car out, and I think that probability is pretty high, that will make the race ever so much more interesting. As everybody has loaded in, and let's hope that the guys don't ready up until it is time to do so. I guess they are coordinating in the chat. But we're still waiting. We're gonna see the strategy in a minute. I hope that the guys are choosing the right tires as well to start on. Making sure that whoever qualified in the top 10 has to take the tires they qualified on in Q2. And the session will be starting in about 18 seconds now. I hope that will count then. And fret not, I'm gonna go over, of course. I hope everybody has got the settings now. And here we go. Let's go over to the race then. Here we go. Formation lap once again for a second time. Actually, let's not do the track, the lap data in the race. So everybody looks like They are where they belong. Let's have a quick look at the tires, if I can find the right buttons. And yeah, that is Schilder starting on the mediums. Fairwood on the softs. Visser and Chowinski on the mediums as well. Blom, Karzine, Castagna, House, Lemons, Den Becker. Well, not Den Becker. All of the other guys are starting on softs, but Den Becker is on the mediums, the only one to start on the mediums. At the back of the field. Interestingly enough, P11 to 13 are starting on the soft, so expecting a safety car early on in the race. It's basically what it boils down to. But of course, guys, we want to have a look at the grid, who we are racing with. Oh, these two buttons, they work as well. Very good to know. Of course, we had pole position Schilder here. That is the wrong button again. Here we go. Fairwood in P2. Visser in P3. We've got Viktor Chowinski in P4. And we've got Blom in P5. We got Karzine in P6. Castagna in P7. Then we've got House in P8. Lemons in P9. Den Becker in P10. Passman and in P11. Then we've got Lichtenberg in P12. And we've got Verhoeven in P2, just got it very much wrong, in P13 only. So, whilst we're looking forward to the start of the race, as Verhoeven is just looking at his little parking spot there. The lights are coming on, we have 5 lights, the lights are out, and away we go for the Dutch Racing Alliance. First Grand Prix of the year. Verwoerd got an amazing start there. So did Verhoeven. Got already up to P6. We've got a Williams into gravel. That is Visser, and Blom is spun round. And that is is it going to be a virtual safety car? It's only going to be a virtual safety car there. As Verhoeven had an amazing start there up to P5. But that Ferrari there of... not Den Becker, of House in P3 now. I think there's something buggy again, but that will sort out in a minute. House in P9, that should be, or in P8. Nope, what's it gonna be? Let it figure it out itself. Is missing a front wing completely. Forward is looking pretty nice. Visser got to drive through now. Schilder in P2 there. I think we've got Karzine came through very nicely, no damage. Chowinski in P4 held his position. Visser then coming through. And we've got Verhoeven with some damage. Had an amazing start, but damage. Lemons now on the back of House, who, remember, doesn't even have a front wing at all. So that will be Blom passed as well, maybe? Well, Blom has basically half a wing left. Kind of giving House a little push there. And we're gonna see some drivers going back into the pits. Also Passman going back into the pits. And Castagna in P13 probably had some some little damage. Right, cheeky overtaking maneuver here. And I think, who was that in front? I think that was Blom in front. And actually, let's have a look at the guys in front. Not that much of a battle going on. The closest battle, so to speak, would be Karzine against Schilder here. Only 7/10 separating these guys from each other. We're in for a brilliant 29 laps, of course, with the guys that pitted first, Castagna, Blom and Passman there in P11, 12 and 13. And that is Karzine now spun round at the corner where he had some nightmares with, and that is now very, very good for the pink Mercedes here. Schilder in P2 and Chowinski in P3. Visser also got the jump on Karzine, who's just spun it. He's lucky to not have lost any more positions. And he would be lucky if he didn't have any front wing damage. And it kind of looks like it, does it? Yeah, I think he got away with it. And he did indeed get away with it. No damage to speak of. Lucky him. Lucky Carsign here. So let's have a look at the winners and losers of that first lap here. Of course, Verhoeven, he's got some damage on his car. As you can see, the end plate missing and a little bit more even. But he's still managing to keep up the pace. Jumped up 7 places. Absolutely astonishing. And of course, Castagna and Blom having pretty bad start. Also Lichtenberg had a pretty nice start there in P9. And we've got a yellow flag. That is for Passman. As you can see him just turning around there. And getting another Spinala. You're on the wrong car there to do such a thing. Jawinski seems to be struggling against Fisser now though. But Fisser going into the pits already. Probably serving his drive-through for speeding under the safety car. Lemons. Let me actually have a little look here if we got something. And House retired from the session. That is a virtual safety car. That is not Carsign, that is Lom? Nope. Can't catch a glimpse, but it's probably exactly the same thing what happened to Carsign. And there we are. Everybody going pretty slowly. Passman will give us a view now, or will he? No, he will not, as my interface is bugged again. Amazingly enough. Only a virtual safety car for that crash, but that is how fast it can go. We talked about it earlier. And now Blom got a drive-through. His day getting from bad to worse. Already was in the pits to serve one stop. And now can revisit his mechanics. Well, not really his mechanics, but his pit lane there. And Fairward is right now with a fastest lap. And Fisser now as well on the exit of turn 12. It seems to be one of the most interesting corners here, as we can go on board now. Yep, and there you can see the car of Fisser thoroughly dismantled. Blom now as well. There we go. That is that car thoroughly dead. And Lemons is trying his best on Verhoeven, who showed the pace in practice and Q1, but is struggling now with a damaged front wing. Of course, he's very quick, but that front wing is hampering him. Locking up all over the place. I think it's only gonna be a matter of time until Lemons has him. One of the closest battles right now on track. Through sector 3, I don't think too much is gonna happen here. Lemons is going a little bit wide there. Taking a little bit more of the outside curve, but now they're setting up for the start finish straight. As Verhoeven now feels the pressure and peels off in the pit. That makes a lot of sense for him. Probably gonna get some hard tires on. Change of front wing as well. Passman came in 5-second penalty there as well for speeding. Can't save it this time. Going on to the mediums. That's gonna be a long stint on the mediums there. And that is, well, Verhoeven coming out in P8 here. Not sure where is P9 even. Oh, they're fighting with Blom. Oh. Let's have a look behind. Passman tries to dive it, but spins himself round. That was a try and a half. Didn't work out for him though. That is him spun round. Just now got underway again. You've got your overtake enabled. Yep. That is the amount of power that this car is gonna produce with the overtake button active. I think. He retired from the session. 7 laps, guys, and 3 people retired from the race. I wouldn't have expected that. I would have expected these guys to have a little bit more patience, if I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. There's still a chance for safety cars. He wasn't lapped just yet. But there we go. That is not gonna trigger a safety car, and I think we're gonna have... I think we're not gonna have a battle between the Alfa Romeos coming up. I mean, Castagna has all of the tools that he needs. He's on the soft tires against some hards, but he is still kind of falling back against his teammate, who's just absolutely showing the pace today. And of course, with this pace, Verhoeven could very well be on the trajectory to at least a podium after having started from very last place. Psycho, what's going on? Just coming into chat and shouting, ye good old lol. What is a lol? Enlighten us. Enlighten us, what is so lol? Then Becker, I think he will be closing up in a little while on Lemons, who goes back into the pits after 6 laps. Has enough of these softs. To be fair, they should be going on a little bit longer, as Verhoeven is now all over the rear of Lichtenberg. And yeah, that is an easy move, is it? I say that, it isn't really though, as Lichtenberg tries to go back at him. That's not gonna work, is it? As Castagna now also gets it past the Renault driver, the banana Renault driver, and Verhoeven also takes Lemons. Castagna having a look around the outside there as well, and that's simply done, that overtaking maneuver. Lemons is trying to go back. Excuse me, Lemons, what was that? That was a little bit cheeky there. That is not how you're gonna get an overtake done. That was a dive and a half and a cut and a half, even by these rules. Okay. In the meanwhile, Schilder has some work done to catch up on Fairwood in front. He was 4 seconds behind, it's now just under 3 seconds behind. Maybe that is the tire wear showing for Fairwood. And I think we've got the Renault driver now spun as well out of the chicane. Yeah, turn 12 really is the car killer today. Really a lot there. Chowinski holding on very nicely to 3rd place, is gonna feel the pressure of Karzheim behind then in just a few laps time, I'm very sure of it. Schilder just inching closer, inching very much closer. Also Castagna now holding on very nicely to his teammate, almost in the 1 second window. Lichtenberg is now in the pits as well. Yep, we had 13 starters only. And already 3 haven't seen the finish, and 2 more have spun in turn 12. Unfortunate race for most of them, as Fairwood went into the pits. Schilder taken over the lead So he really felt like his tires were then falling off, or not the best against Schiller in front. He's on some new soft, so he is going for the two-stop strategy, even though the F1 Insights, powered by AWS, are saying something different. And what happened here? Chowinski and Lichtenberg were probably in a little fight there. Chowinski having now some little issue on his front wing, locking up both tires in anger. At least these tires aren't completely fresh, but that is hampering him. So there might have been a little run in there between these two drivers. Pretty bummed out that I haven't caught that, but I'm pretty sure that it is on Chowinski's stream. We might even have a look at in a few minutes. I don't know how they do it, but regular rules and still spinning in T12. You know what? It's actually easier to spin with regular rules in turn 12. You can cut so much more in turn 12 on the inside, and that just unsettles your car. As Dan Becker made his way through now, got past Chowinski, which hasn't been too much of a fight there anyways, with Chowinski's half front wing missing. Yeah, colliding with what can be described, I think, as a back marker pretty fairly, as you could just see the lapping of Dan Becker and Lichtenberg. So, Chowinski going on to the hard tires, basically his only option by now. Maybe he could have gone for some, well, he couldn't actually have gone for some mediums, as he was on those. He wants to go for the one-stopper, so that's going to be a medium-hard strategy for him. Fairwood Master Strat. And that is of course a very interesting thing that is coming from the guy who said it's going to be an easy one-stop. I guess that was then meant sarcastically. And the only driver still out on the soft tires is Castagna. He was in the pits on that one. And we've got another spin of Lichtenberg here in turn 10. Really struggling now to get underway. That's gonna be another pit stop for him. He's already lapped once, and if he continues like that, it's not gonna be very long until he's lapped twice. Castagna now trying to get past for another time. As the Renault driver is extending the track there. Schiller still holding on though on the mediums, and he will have to do so for another 8 laps about. Well, I mean, the in-game strategy says it's possible to get the mediums about 20 laps, and of course Schiller has to go for the 20 laps on the medium, so I think it still might be the prime strategy. We'll see at the end of the race though. You might as well be right in that regard. But if even the game says it can be one stop from the soft to the mediums, then that is normally... the game's normally a little bit more conservative there. And especially if Schiller can keep up the pace, but have a look at his tires. Can have a look after his tires. Shouldn't be a problem, to be honest, as Chowinski now got past Lemons here. We haven't got too many battles right now. Castagna is still holding on nicely on Verhoeven, but can't make a move at all. Can't really close up on him. You can see right here. Still running in respectful space there from each other. And that is the Renault driver now for a third time spinning in turn 12. Out of the session. Finally bit the dust. And that is a virtual safety car. That might even help Castagna going into the pits now, although he just passed it. He's in sector 1, so that might not help him. And Blom leaving the session now as well. Hopefully he will return in just a minute. Yeah, and that is a very, very disappointing race for the Renault driver. I mean, he is still in P10, that would be worth a point. And Fairwood now. It's about 12.5 seconds behind Schilder. Most optimally, he wants to be right on his tail when he goes into the pits for the next time. I don't think that's gonna be possible though. So he might have just gave away the win with the 2-stopper. We will see though what happens. I mean, we've seen so many spins now in turn 12. We might see even some more. Other than that, Castagna now still more or less on the rear here of Verhoeven. Everything else is looking like it will be fought out via the strategy. Of course, I'm gonna be very much interested in where the hard tire runners are gonna come out. I mean, Verhoeven here, he pit about lap 7 for some hards. These tires will be absolutely shocking at the end of the race. Lemon's tires won't be too juicy as well as Castagna now. On 12 laps old softs. Goes into the pits for some fresh mediums. As the pit crew already lets him go here. Down in P8. But that is, I think, yeah, one of the first drivers to complete all of their pit stops, then coming from the softs to the mediums. Done both stops. Verwoerd is not catching up by the pace that he should be. He is still about 12.5 seconds behind Schilder. So indicating that the soft tires already more or less overtook the wear of the mediums. So it's not looking too good for him. For that battle for P1. Remember, he has to pit one more time. So that might even, well, might even help Dan Becker, but I think he's way too far behind. Running wide there doesn't help either, and that is A-Force India spun. That is Czerwinski. At least out of the track there. At least I didn't curse him. At least I didn't curse him. That is down in P6 there. not helping his ambitions. At least he's got clean air out in front and about 16 seconds of that. As now actually Fairwood is in the pits again, getting a new wing, so that's an additional about 7 seconds you waste then. Yeah, and he's now 35 seconds behind the leading car. Even 38 seconds. 39 seconds behind Schilder. He would have to make up 19 seconds now. And he should have really done that on the soft tires. He couldn't do that. So he's now down only to P3. But remember, then Becker has to pit as well. He's about 2.5 seconds in front. That's reasonably clean air for Verwoerd. And yeah, he's catching up pretty damn fast now on Dan Becker. Will hopefully not be that much of a roadblock for him. Castagna now also almost in the DRS of Lemons. Oh, he actually is in the DRS. We're gonna have a look at that battle in just a moment here. We're going around the track there. Verwoerd didn't have the DRS just yet. But look how close he is running. That is absolutely... Well, you gotta trust each other to run like that close to each other. Especially online. And that is an exit and a half by Verwoerd. And that is him past even before the second DRS zone even begins. As Castagna, wow, got it past Lemons through the fast left right-hander. Mediums against hards, and that is the hard tires there. Running wide. You can see the dirt all over that Williams from that little, well, riding through the grass, going into the pits. Obviously, that isn't working anymore. I think I spotted some front wing damage, so let's have a look if he's gonna change his front wing there. Very early there, I think. Who was that there? Was that Schilder? Yeah, Schilder maybe gotten a little bit held up there. Or held up. Going on to the soft tires, of course, for a killer last stint there. Can he at least then? Yes, he will jump Lemons, who will go on to the softs there as well. And Schilder coming out with... Wow. Is that still 37 seconds? That can't be. That's not 37 seconds. Thank you very much. That is about 13 seconds of gap. Wow. That will not at all be a problem for Schilder to finish this race. Remember, Scarab, aka Castagna, did a 12 lap stint on the softs, looking kind of comfortably there as well. Well, that won't be a problem for him, I guess. I'm sure about it. Welcome Jordan, by the way, to the chat. Glad to see you here. And that is the pace we're talking about, purple sector 2. Of course well, does he really need to push? I mean, he's extending his gap already to Verwoerd behind. So I don't think that is even necessary there. We can see the rest of the 9 drivers are very much all over the place there. Fizz has left the session. He DNF'd quite a while ago. And I've got a feeling this could be one of the fastest laps we're gonna see in this race here of Schilder, or of any drivers I get. And here we go. They're already at 100 degrees, nice and toasty. Yeah, and he is pushing. You can clearly see that overtake mode engaged just sometimes on the straights to get that extra top speed and extra acceleration. Not going quite that much to the apex of, well, what isn't even classified as a turn, but really should be. There's so much time to win there if you just go to that apex. But I don't think that he will need it. He already extended the gap 3 seconds since he went out of the pits. Absolutely blistering pace there. And it's just 8 more laps to go to the finish. Actually, it's 9 laps more to go. Well, there, I'm betting everything. We're gonna see a new fastest lap. And there we go, it's a 22.5 as the fastest lap. Lemon's running next on track, trying to beat that, not getting it. His ERS is truly empty. Fairwood just came across the line. Probably not running close to the speed that Schilder is doing in front. And then Becker is now finally in the pits for his last pit stop of the day. He will be probably coming out just around Jawinski, a little bit earlier. Yeah, that is nicely slotted into that gap. Shouldn't be too close between these two drivers. We've got Jawinski, and in front you see then Becker coming out. I think Lemons... Did Lemons have a little issue? Oh no, that was just a blue flag overtake there up top on the map. Jawinski is now in pursuit of Dan Becker, which will not go too well for Jawinski. I'm pretty sure about that. Fresh softs against somewhat old hard tires. Yeah, we've got a Dan Becker fan here in the chat. He will surely book it on these tires, but the next car ahead is about 12 seconds further in front. He's on 15 laps old tires though, Verhoeven that is. To be honest, I'm not that sure about it. We will see. It's just about 7 laps to go after this one. That would be over a second per lap, and if you've seen what Verhoeven had as pace in, or compared to Dan Becker in both practice sessions and in the qualifying sessions, I'm very skeptical about it, but he is making up time already. But is it going to be enough? Of course Verhoeven's tires are not gonna get any younger, but so are Dan Becker's tires, but they will not hit the cliff surely, as Jawinski is now getting rid of his tires, going on to some fresh softs. I'm not sure if that was entirely necessary. He didn't get a new front wing here. That will just lose him some more. Well, it actually won't even lose him any positions, but he is lapped now also by Carsign then in front. Maybe just going for the fastest lap? Oh no, that is actually Blom, the disconnected car. Let's have a look then if Dan Becker can make the strategy work. I'm critical of it. I don't think he's gonna get Verhoeven in front. I'm gonna let him show it though. We all want to see a nice fight in a grid that is pretty close together right now. Also Verhoeven is more or less pushing to get Carsign, although the tire advantage is pretty big there. It's about 4 laps between Carsign and Verhoeven. And he is now 9.2 seconds behind with what is that, 5 laps to go. That would be 2 seconds a lap. He would have to make good on Verhoeven in front and then go for an overtaking maneuver as well, which is not the easiest thing to do here. And that gap is not coming down too much. I mean, it's been 2/10 already right now through that first sector. About 4/10. Starting from start finish. That will be a tough ask. Remember, it'll have to be about 2 seconds a lap. And looking at the ERS that Dan Becker has compared to the ERS that Verhoeven has, that would be, that is gonna be impossible. I'm gonna call it now. It's not going to happen in this race. 5 laps to go for these drivers. Can Verhoeven get it and rescue it into the finish? He is catching up on Karzai momentarily. He's got a second a lap on him, as it seems like. Even though his tires are 4 laps older, I'm gonna stay with him for a minute. But look at the gaps in front. It's Schilder out in front in first place on some soft tires. And he actually got the gap up to 21 seconds. Remember when he came out of the pits, the gap was 12 seconds. That are 9 seconds in just 6 laps. Absolutely astonishing pace. He will still have to get these tires across the finish. It's now up to 26 seconds as Verwoerd goes into the pits to get some fresh rubber. He wants to get the fastest lap. But is he gonna come out ahead of Karzai? That's gonna be very close. Out in front here. And they're going side by side through turn 1. He just about makes it. That was very close indeed. And there is now in sector 3 someone going slow, and that is actually Chowinski with half a front wing once again. Can't blame it on me, man. I didn't curse you this time. He did a brilliant job before. He was up to P3. It's down to P7 now. Maybe he has some new soft tires, can go for the fastest lap, but that will be an ask. Schilder has a blistering lap record here. Our fastest lap for today. Verwoerd will be setting another very fast lap, I'm very sure of it, in just a few seconds on the next lap. And in the meantime, Verhoeven catching up even more on Karzai in front. It's now in the 2 seconds. He's got 3 more laps. Maybe he's gonna make it, maybe he is not. But he is closing in, as now it's the time, it's hammer time for Verwoerd. Pushing all he can for the fastest lap. It gives you of course 1 point, so that would be 25 points for Schilder if the guys finish like this. Verwoerd 18 points, Karzai 15, Verhoeven it would be 12, then Becker 10, then it would be 8, 6, 4, 2 and 1. And yep, Verhoeven is absolutely flying. That is a purple sector 2 for Verwoerd. Looking good. He's using every single drop of that energy, if you could call it that. Every single, well, amp of energy. And using every millimeter of the track as well. Taking the apex nicely off turn 15. Getting it very well through 16, a little bit off track. And that will be fastest lap A1, 21.5. Of course, Chowinski already, I think, Nope, that will be his fast lap right now. He's got lots of overtake. Is he gonna use it though? Yes, he is. Trying to get a very fast lap together as well. As Dan Becker has closed the gap down to 7 seconds. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Nothing's gonna happen there. But Verhoeven is now down to 1.5 seconds. He's in the dirty air now. Very well. 1.2 seconds. Is he able to get a move done on Carstein for that last podium position? By the way, I haven't seen any track limit invalidations coming in as Schilder. Oh no, that is a little bit of anger, I think, driving in Jawinski's car as well, after he spun twice, lost his front wing twice. Don't block off Werewood there, very nicely done. And Schilder now! Schilder is in the pits now too, for some new soft tires, and that is gonna be a straight fight for the fastest lap between these drivers in a minute. Verhoeven is now in the DRS very firmly, coming up to the second to last lap for these guys. I think we're gonna see a very nice battle for the fastest lap, as Verhoeven now is very much struggling with these tires. Has got the DRS though, and that will be very much interesting. Carstein, does he have any ERS to speak of? Well, both are running similarly on empty basically. Maybe Verhoeven has some more rich mix in his tanks. It certainly looks like it, as he goes side by side with Carstein into turn 3 here. They're still side by side through for a little bit of contact there. Carstein getting pushed a little bit wide there, but that is Verhoeven now done and dusted, past Carstein there in a brilliant little fight through the first sector. And yeah, you can see Carstein just struggling on his tires, which are, by the way, 4 laps younger than the car's tires that just overtook him. Incredible stuff. As Schilder will be starting his fast lap in just a minute here. Here he goes. He's got some ERS saved. He really wants the 26 points that are for offer right here. Coming through the first sector now, not used too much overtake here, but outbrakes himself into turn 1. That's not gonna help him with the fastest lap attempt here. Now just clicking that overtake a little bit between turn 5 and 6 there on that little straight. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, the overtake button helps much more with top speed than it helps with acceleration. So I'm usually not using it out of the corners, but on the long straights, once I'm in 7th and 8th gear, usually gives many more kphs, as that is a Schilder now with a purple sector too. If he can nail sector 3, he might have a chance still, but Fairwood behind might be trying his best to get another very quick lap going, as he might have saved some more fuel and ERS over the past few laps. And that is Schilder now pushing for the race win. 5-second time penalty for an unserved penalty, and another fastest lap from him, a 21.531. That is commanding, very commanding indeed. And there's Fairwood now coming through after a brilliant race. He was in second, he comes home in second. That's not gonna be a fastest lap for him. And Verhoeven, that is a guy who might just get driver of the day here, from all the way down P13 to P3. Absolutely amazing stuff. Dan Becker, Castagna a little bit unlucky maybe with that start. Jawinski very unlucky there, from P3 momentarily in the race to P7. Lemons in 8th and Blom in 9th. But this is our race winner. This is Schilder in the BWT Racing Point Mercedes W10 RP20 whatever. And that is Verhoeven with the driver of the day. the entire Verhoeven Karsign fight. Did they fight again at the end of the race? I think I got it. Sorry if I've missed that one, but they were... Oh yeah, they were pretty close together. There might have been a little issue then with Verhoeven. I thought he had it. I thought he had it. Didn't expect him to fall back, sorry for that one. But look at that. What a race that was. Pretty boring, I gotta say, in the middle parts. But here we go. Just quickly going through the incidents catalog here. Yeah, I usually go through the drivers at the end. But yeah, he was within 3/10 the last lap. And you can see that margin in the finish was pretty close here. But the fastest lap goes to Schilder there with an inspired last or second to last lap pit stop from him. It's just what happens. By the way, if you haven't subbed yet to the channel, leave a sub if you enjoyed the commentary and want to see more. Twitch.tv/256. There's much more to see there. And I think, yeah, that was an interesting race. Lots of crashes and, well, some action on the end. Wiedersehen didn't get to put on a setup. Well, I mean, that doesn't help. That certainly doesn't help with the race, but you did well. You did well in like the first 3 or in the first 10 laps about in that first stint. But yeah. Alright. I guess though this will be it for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream. Leave a like on the stream. I think that works on YouTube, on live streams. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you didn't like it. Very interesting to know anyways. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. I think on Sunday there should be a race going on. It's not going to be commentated by myself. It's going to be commentated by somebody else on this channel though. So yes. We're gonna see about that, how that works then. There's nothing else to say. I hope that you guys have a splendid weekend. I hope that you guys have a nice evening as well. You enjoyed the race and everything. And see you guys next time out. Bye bye.